Hello, my name is Pastor Andy Schreier from Redeemer Lutheran Church. In September of 2013, a hunter named Adrian Knapp was in the wilderness of Alaska with his friend Garrett hunting. And they ended up killing a 700-pound grizzly bear. Their problem was where they were hunting, they had gotten there by coming in a small canoe that was about 7 feet long, traveling up a river. And the two of them and the grizzly wouldn't fit in the canoe. So what they decided to do was that Garrett and they put the grizzly in, and Garrett would return and go back to the cabin, dump the grizzly off, and then come back and get Adrian. But soon after leaving, the canoe tipped over and Garrett drowned. Now, Adrian at the time didn't know anything about that. He was expecting his friend to return in just a couple of hours, but soon those hours turned into a day. And he was trapped in a little alcove at the edge of the river, with the river on one side and a large impenetrable mountain on the other side. He had no food, no way to make a fire, no cell phone or walkie-talkie. And there he sat, enduring a cold we can't even begin to imagine. 7 days passed. He hadn't eaten anything. His body was ravaged by hypothermia. He was hallucinating. And he realized he was dying. So he took out his knife and he carved a note for his wife in the butt of his rifle. He laid his rifle up against a tree. He laid down on the ground to die. And that's when he heard the sound of helicopter blades banging against the wind. He said later that it was the most beautiful sound he had ever heard. I mean, we can imagine the joy and elation of knowing that he was being rescued. We can imagine the relief of hearing those helicopter blades banging against the wind. You know, all of us are born into this world desperately lost in a wilderness of sin. And if you doubt that, just look at your life. Even now, after we believe in Jesus, every day we fall into these same old stupid sins. Even when we fight against them, we still end up getting mad, saying things we shouldn't, doing things that are so embarrassing we hope nobody will ever find out. We all by nature are lost in sin, condemned to the eternal fires of hell. But that's really what Christmas is all about. Christmas is about God coming to rescue us. But he didn't come in a helicopter. He didn't come in a fire truck. He didn't come in a ship of the Coast Guard. He came in the form of a tiny baby. The all-powerful God who fills all things became one of us in order to take our place and suffer the punishment we deserve for all of those sins we've committed, so that we could be rescued, so we could be saved from our sins, so we could be rescued from the hell we deserve. See, that little mouth of that baby lying there in the manger, that mouth that cried out for hunger for that first time on that first Christmas night, that same mouth years later would cry out in pain from the cross. Those tiny little hands and feet would one day be nailed to wood for you and me. Jesus was born in Bethlehem in order to die at Calvary, to rescue us, to save us, to win for us a home in heaven. When we close our eyes and imagine that baby lying in the manger, as we imagine him crying in hunger for the first time, understand that for us, that's the sound of the helicopter blades beating against the wind. It's the sound of us being rescued. And it's the most beautiful sound in the world.